So today, we're going to talk about a feeling that I bet is super familiar to almost everyone listening. It's that weird, nagging anxiety you get when you're separated from your phone. It's kind of like a modern-day phantom limb, and we're going to figure out why it feels so incredibly real.
Oh, you know that moment, that frantic pat-down of your pockets, digging through your bag, and for that one split second, your heart just plummets. It's that sudden, cold fear of being completely disconnected. Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, it turns out that specific anxiety isn't just some fleeting worry or a weird quirk. It actually has a name. It's a recognized phenomenon called nomophobia. So let's break down what that term really means.
So what exactly is nomophobia? Well, it's the official term for the fear of being without your mobile phone. But it's not just about, losing the device itself. It's also the anxiety that comes with a dead battery or having no signal. Basically, the fear of being unable to use it when you feel like you need to.
And listen, if this sounds like you are definitely not alone. This isn't some weird personal failing or something wrong with you. It's actually an incredibly common, almost predictable response to living in a world where our phones have become the central hub for pretty much everything.
So why? Why do these little glass rectangles have such a powerful grip on our emotions? What are the real root causes that make us feel so, tethered? Let's dig in and explore what's really driving this thing.
Okay, so this feeling is really driven by a few powerful things. First, our brains are just wired for connection, and every little buzz or notification gives us a tiny hit of feel-good chemicals, which creates this cycle of dependence. Then you've got the big one, FOMO, the fear of missing out. That nagging feeling that life is happening somewhere else and you're not a part of it. And for some of us, the phone just becomes a digital security blanket, right? A way to cope with anxiety or stress that's already there.
All right, so we've covered what it is and what causes it. But what does nomophobia actually look and feel like in our day-to-day lives? Let's run through some of the common signs and, see if any of this sounds a little too familiar.
Just think about that jolt of panic when you realize you left your phone at home. It can feel like you've literally left a piece of yourself behind. Or what about that compulsive need to check for notifications? It's almost like a nervous tick, even when you haven't heard a thing. And that surge of genuine frustration when the battery icon turns red, that is a classic sign that our connection to our phones might be a little intense.
And look, this goes way beyond being just a minor annoyance. This constant, low-level anxiety can have some very real and pretty significant effects on our overall well-being. So let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here.
Wow, this slide really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The contrast is so clear. On one side, you've got this state of constant connection, which just fragments our ability to concentrate, it messes with our sleep, and it can even make our real face-to-face interactions feel weaker. But then look at the other side. When you find that healthy balance, it directly leads to better focus, more restful sleep, and deeper, more meaningful personal connections. The difference is pretty stark.
Okay, so if any of this has been hitting a little too close to home, here's the good news. You are not stuck. There are real effective ways to start loosening that tether and get back a sense of control and balance. So let's talk about solutions. The path to finding that balance is probably more manageable than you think. For those deeper anxieties, professional strategies like CBT can be amazing for helping us rewire the thoughts that trigger that panic. On a more practical level, just building some digital awareness is huge. This could be as simple as setting up phone-free zones like the dinner table or having dedicated offline hours. And for managing that anxiety in the moment, techniques like mindfulness can be a super powerful tool to just ground yourself and quiet all that noise.
And really, this is the whole point. It's not about throwing your phone away and moving to a cabin in the woods. It's all about building healthier habits around it. This really drives home the hopeful message that, with a little intentional effort, anyone can dial back this anxiety and find that balance again. It is totally achievable. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. And it doesn't have to be some huge, monumental change, okay? Maybe it's just putting your phone away during dinner tonight, or not checking it for the first 30 minutes after you wake up. What's one small, tiny tether you can decide to loosen starting right now?